part 28 of the most amazing, fabulous chicken coop build design ever in all of history. So I got the hinges put on. Notice the spacing here. One of the things I found that works a lot better with these hinges, if you set the hinge, line it up, drill this hole first, put that screw in, then that holds this hinge on, and then you can put this screw in, which holds everything square. Then you go over, do this side, put that one in, put this one in, then that holds your frame straight. You still have a little bit of adjustment because the screws tend to want to pull things and tweak it a little bit. And then after you get it exactly where you want it, then come back, go ahead and drill all the pilot holes for these screws, drill all the pilot holes for these screws, and then run your screws in. This latch here, again, flush with the edge, and then the catch in the center, and that gets all that squared away. And then we have the holes in here for the pegs. And then I also amazingly remembered to drill the holes for the peg holders. So you put a peg piece of dowel rod in here, stick it in there, and then when you need it, you can take it out of there and then move it up here and put it in whatever position that you want. So that gets all that together. And I just have the other wall is the mirror image of this one. So I've already got the window cut out for that. And I had just a little bit of, some of these boards were really warped, and I used the really warped ones for these shorter pieces, but it still had kind of a kick to it. So I used the chop saw here to straighten that out. And then since it worked so well, I went ahead and did both sides and just made sure everything was nice and snug, because this is a pretty tight fit on this window, and it's good to have good tools. Now you might be asking, why did I bring this wall back in here to put this window in? And the reason is because I needed to have the space for the table saw set up, and I didn't have space for the table saw set up when I was building this wall originally. So I already had some of these furring strips cut, and so I used what I had until it was time to get the table saw out. And then I set it up, and I ripped a whole bunch of pieces of that. So it takes pretty much an entire sheet of plywood ripped into the 1.5 inches. And then if you're going to do the little guard for the door, just make sure you leave 4.5 inches on the end of the sheet, and you can cut all that in one shot with the table saw, and then that'll all be sitting there ready to go. If you did that first, that would be probably pretty smart. I just had my plywood was buried in my lumber pile, and my saw was buried, so that's why I chose this order to do it in. But it seems like it's working out pretty good. It gave the wood a chance to dry out a little bit and made the wall lighter. So now I'm gonna put the other window in, the mirror image of this one. I'm gonna go ahead and stand everything up in the middle of the floor and get the end wall screwed on so it'll support itself, and then we'll take it from there.